So Fire Force Season 3 haters would have you believe that this is the worst season ever. It's hot garbage, it's abysmal, how dare they do this, blah blah blah. And to be honest, every time I read these comments, whether they come to me, I see them on Reddit, Twitter, wherever, it really is like the embodiment of the meme where like that one stick figure is like screaming at people having fun, and then the one turns around, gives them a thumbs up, and continues to enjoy the thing in question. Because that's really what it feels like. Because after watching the last two episodes of Season 3, where I have content ranging from Obi flexing his muscles so hard that the parasite can't eat through his muscles, meaning, as everyone else is fighting for their life, he's out here striking muscle poses to protect himself. Arthur got to fight a real dragon, because at the end of the day, that doppelganger, that's a dragon. I'm calling it a dragon. If a spade looks like a spade, it's a spade. And then in the latest episode, Burns seemingly dead. You get a resolution with his character seemingly. And Shinra's out here just being the baddest boy around. His spin kicks and everything, like he was doing some twirly loop-de-loops. I thought I was watching some Circus Olay stuff. It was great. But I can already hear him, just screaming in the background. How dare you have fun? Don't you remember Season 1? I actually went back and watched, I skimmed through some fights of Season 1 and 2. I don't think people actually remember what Fire Force looks like because it's very similar to this. But you know what? We live in an era where everything is just nothing but negativity. People just want to stay outraged. And at the end of the day, I ain't got time or patience for that. This shit is slapping to me. I'm having a blast, and your negativity ain't going to change that for me. So if you're like me and just want to continue discussing Fire Force, this is definitely going to be the comment section for you, because goddamn, this shit was heat. And while I could see how Burns, maybe because he didn't technically die as he was pulled away, could come back, right now I'm going to view him as he's done, as Obi's just, striking some poses up there, and I think that's fantastic. Of course, I do full live reactions over on my Patreon. You want to support my work, see my full thoughts on all these Fire Force episodes over there exclusively. So, like I said, I watched last week and this latest episode both today, and it was great. I loved having two episodes. I mean, Fire Force has always been a really good binge. I think it works as a weekly format, especially if an arc's in the middle of some exciting stuff like this one. But in a binge, yeah, you definitely get even more enjoyment. And I think it was just so good because I was ready to say goodbye to Obi. Like, that was my expectation. And maybe that's why the Burn stuff caught me off guard more, because I was like, okay, the one I'm setting my expectation who isn't going to make it is Obi, and then he survives in the most comedic way possible. And to my lack of surprise, okay, so not last episode, the one before that, episode 4 or whatever, we essentially cooked on Tamaki's ass, right? And if that isn't like the most shonen thing you could have done, I don't know what is. And the reason it's not really a surprise is I've always felt like there's been an overreaction to her character, because there's far more lewd and technically disgusting or insane things that air every other season. And it's like, oh, if only she wasn't in the show would be so much better. That shit's just funny, and even if it's not like the type of crude humor you enjoy, I don't understand how that ruins a show. Like, I just think it's such an overreaction, and that's why I just can't take like most of these Fire Force criticisms seriously. Like, seriously, just if you Google, like, Tamaki's ass on Twitter as an example, I'm sure you'll get some fan art, but, like, you'll see a comment thread with, like, 30,000 likes of, like, I can't defend Fire Force for this one, and I'm like, how soft is this generation? Like, Jesus Christ. So, to me, when I see a character like Obi flexing his muscles, to me, that's in the same category as cooking on Tamaki's ass. I have to be 100%. It's dumb as hell, but this is what I look at for Battle Shonen. Do I want some serious arcs and some serious subject matter? Yes, and I think Fire Force has done a pretty good job with that. But I think Fire Force also embraces the absolute stupidity that this genre can go for, and I think it does in a very comedic way that doesn't take itself overly serious in those types of moments. You literally have the cheerleader squad down there saying, hip hip hooray, Obi, you go ahead. As you have a delusional, crazy Chuny who's like, I'm gonna fight a dragon, and he's like, bet I am a dragon. And no matter how much he powers up through his delusions, the dragon gets even more powerful. And essentially Exodia obliterates his ass, and I thought that was just badass, if not terrifying. And then in this latest episode, you got a much more, I think, serious episode in comparison to last week, where Shinra is going all out. And I have to admit, I've never hated the coats that the characters wear in this show. But you can't tell me with a straight face Shinra looks better with the coat on versus off. Because as soon as he has that coat off, he's got his like little overall things going on. I was like, he kind of looks like he's a badass from the 50s, man. He's like in a little mafia gang. I just think he looks so much better. And the animation for that was really good. Like, there's plenty of stuff I could nitpick and say, oh, sometimes they held on to this a bit longer. The final moments of the Shinra versus Burns fight, when they're more static and just kind of like flames kind of pushing each other at the same time, nothing really that great. But for the most part, that fight was really well animated. He was out here doing twirlies. Like, it reminded me of how Sanji would fight in One Piece. It was really, really enjoyable. And I love that Joker was like, even though I think he should have jumped in a couple of times, Joker was pretty much like, a hero's got to do this. Like, he's putting his faith that a hero is going to save the day here. And I think they've done a good enough job prior to this episode to understand why Burns switched sides, because essentially Burns looked into the center of the universe and essentially God spoke back to him. So if God's saying we got to burn it all down, I kind of get why he decided to go to the dark side. But I appreciate that he explains why he didn't dodge attacks. He took all the attacks that Shinra threw at him, but most importantly, why he didn't seem disappointed that Shinra seemingly won. So the idea that he pretty much looks at it as like, I'm the old generation, I'm the old man. If the youth and the new generation want to throw attacks at me, I will take everything you have. But if you can't beat me, I'm going to believe in the truth that I saw, that this is what God wants, all things considered. But if you can defeat me and show me there's a different way, well, that's not my job to do. That's for you to do. I will allow that, and if anything, I might even cheer you on. And then to see him stab, not even like a stab normally, I think it was the horn of the doppelganger that skewered him, and then it pulled him into the abyss. I don't know. I just thought it was such a satisfying episode, and honestly, the past two episodes did two very different things, but equally enjoyable just in different ways. Not sure if Maki really was the one who saved them, though. I'm almost wondering if it was the prayer from our priest, because Miss Nunn was praying a lot of last episode, and while they're saying Maki was the one who did that, I'm not sure, because it looked like she was about to die, and I was like, Jesus, I was worrying for Obi, and here it is, Maki's gonna die, or Burns, and I don't know where we're going, but I'm having a blast. I'm liking this season. The VA's still remaining to pop off. The heat is being felt through the screen, and I'm having a great time. Listen, if it's not the season you were hoping for, that's perfectly fine. It's just, there's this odd thing on the internet where people can be having fun. People can be like, man, I really like this. Oh, this is very fun. And people who don't like it will be like, how dare you? Having fun when I don't. It's like, it's opinions, boss. Like, I don't care if people dislike it. I care when those people come to me and tell me I'm wrong for enjoying something, because God forbid someone has fun with anime and isn't overly critical and thinks everything is like abysmal because not every single swing looks like Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Like, the internet is too damn negative anymore, and I think if we all just focus on the shit we actually enjoyed, I think society would be in a lot more pleasant place. But hey, I don't think we're ready for that conversation just yet. Maybe someday, though. You let me know your thoughts down below. What was your favorite point in the last couple of episodes? I think Obi flexing has to be the number one standout. But honestly, Burns getting skewered, very, very close second. Because I like Burns a lot, even if he betrayed us, because I think he had a bit of a redemption there. But your thoughts? Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. Like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions on all these episodes over on my Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got David Walker, Y, CCC Studios, Patrick Stonsky, Nathan Matthews, Jonathan, Earl888, Austin Citizen, Nicholas Geischer, Eric Cheeks Robinson, and we also have Gaius. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.